Greetings, Captains, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates. I am Commodore Tirak of the heavy battlecruiser USS Rommel, as we continue our campaign against the Romulan Star Empire, and we are on long-range patrol, far away from friendly space, as we, basically chopped off this little corner of the Empire. However, we are a little bit dented, and I assume we are pretty much out of supply shuttles, so we're probably going to hook on through this way, come here, and then up back home. So without further ado, let us set out on our grand adventure back to home space. Unless, of course, it doesn't give any emissions. There we go. The asteroid base is all. We can take that. As long as it's not in a nebula. Well, we can take it in a nebula. It would just take a long time. But we can do this no problem at all. Battle stations, red alert, increase speed. Let's quickly check to see how many shuttles we've got left over. 2. So we're going to prep 1 and 1, just in case. Also, gorgeous looking little wormhole, anomaly, nebula. Not entirely sure. Not super important, but still pretty cool to see. Just double check, make sure we have a dented anti-missile defense system, which we're going to ignore because, yeah, we're going to ignore it. It's a Romulan dreadnought, so he's not going to have any sort of anti-missile or any sort of missiles that he's going to send our way. We are escorted by the new command cruiser USS Antares, as well as the new drone cruiser, the Richmond? I think that's the Richmond. Hello, Richmond. You've been upgraded and changed to an entirely different design. Yep, a triple nacelle light cruiser, I want to say? No, it's a heavy cruiser because it's an NDC. We're currently scoring off a KVL. This is a light dreadnought. It should be. No, it's not. It's one of the older style ones. You can tell simply because of the hull form. So I'm anticipating at least 2 R-type plasma torpedoes. Might not be quite that bad. It may just be a couple of normal torpedoes, but we'll find out. Let's get the forward shields to the reinforcement value that they require, just for a little bit of skirmish protection. Gonna come in here. Let's stop whatever sort of electronic countermeasure he's going to try, and see what we're dealing with. Incoming probe. It tells us that he is not a particularly well shielded dreadnought, and he's only carrying 2 R-type plasma torpedoes, 2 F-type plasma torpedoes, but he can cloak, which will make him rather dangerous as the Antares rushes on in, willing to get up in his face. It is, after all, a command cruiser, and will attempt to do everything that it can. We're going to sap away power from the shields to get put towards the engine so we can get in there just a little bit faster. It's not super important right now. We're out of shuttles, so we got to be careful on that one. Probably not deploy our scatter pack in this campaign simply because, well, we are only 1 tile away from a home tile, so we could do that. Yeah, that's actually not too big of a deal. He's come out of cloak. We are at range, set to proximity mode, and pour it on into 0 attack shift. Let's see if gunnery can do anything. 1. 1 hit. Okay, let's go consult the pamphlet of justice. By the way, I was doing a little bit of spring cleaning recently, and I found my Volume 2 Empire at War Starfleet Command little handy cheat sheet. In this thing is basically all the weapons tables, the shortcuts, and everything like that. I was really happy to find it. So let's go. Proximity Photon Torpedo table does 4 points of damage on impact. Range 0 to 8, not applicable because it can't shoot from that far. 9 to 12 is 67%. 13 to 30 is 50% accuracy. And 31 to 55 is 33% accuracy. He hit once at a range of 40. So it's not terrible, but that sure as hell ain't very good. Let's make sure that we beef up even more power for that. I'm going to slow down so the Photon Torpedoes can actually have a chance of charging. We're squaring off against the Lunis duo, who has just dropped a Wild Weasel and is currently got a massive attack shift because of it. Put me at 5. I think that should be just fine. What sort of additional energy am I looking at? 5 points of energy? Wow, we are really close to 40, aren't we? So we're just going to continue to work around the edges. This will actually put us in a relatively good position to knock down that shield if we can get to it, which we should be able to. So as we soar on in here, it should be about a 50% chance, but if I get within 12, go for the much higher. 4 photon torpedoes, 4 good hits. Didn't hit the shield that I wanted, but we'll work with it. So we'll keep coming around. And we're ready with the phasers. Yeah, we really should start pouring on missile fire just to sort of get in his face about it. He doesn't have a whole lot of defensive weapons. As you can see, earlier era Romulan stuff is very much an emphasis on heavy plasma torpedo armament and nothing else. And not particularly a large number of heavy plasma torpedoes either, which is why their heavy cruisers are come packing with R-type plasma torpedoes in the early era, and then later on they switch to like 4 plasma torpedoes at a time because it's useful to have flexibility, as you know, we very well know. Increase speed time. Oh, he's coming out of cloak. Will we be able to do anything about it? I can pour a couple more missiles on, and they are free at this point. We've basically gone through all of our additional reloads. We're manufacturing missiles on the fly at this point. We're just going to stay out of range after all that R-type plasma torpedo. Very dangerous. We are not in front of him, but we could be in relatively short order if high energy turns. There goes the R-type plasma torpedo slamming into the Antares for the full 50 damage. They only managed to knock out one of his phaser 3, so good job for the Antares armor. 4 more photon torpedoes. Not a 1. Oh, they were in normal mode. Never mind. So I was like, 4 photon torpedoes in proximity mode completely missing. But luckily it was in normal mode, and from that range, well, the accuracy was, what, 33%? So yeah, he can't hit anything less than a 50% chance. So I'm going to say, let's increase the speed of time, set our photon torpedoes to proximity mode. We're just going to come in here and shell the crap out of them. Now, we are being escorted by 2 additional ships, which will make this a lot easier. It's not going to be us shelling this for 10 minutes. But it's still somewhat annoying. Pulling within range of 55 will give you maximum accuracy shots. Well, not accurate, but maximum range shots. Hey, he hit once! So the gigantic asteroid. I may sell this ship simply because whoever I have manning tactical is one of the most frustrating people I've ever met. Because he's like, I'll hit on Tuesday. Maybe. I'll think about it. We're just going to sit here and continue to blast away every opportunity we get. There we go. That was 3 hits out of 4. Slow way down. We don't want to get too close after all. If he starts directing all of that phaser firepower into us, he can hurt us quite badly. In fact, I may just pull up to a stop right here. And actually, because we have the wonderful pamphlet of justice, I've got to come up with a better name for it. The Phase of 4 Starbase table. We are at, what, a range of 15-ish? That's maximum damage of 5. Wow, that's not bad. Well, not great, actually. So, yeah, we should be able to pretty much handle him without too much trouble. Yeah, this is some interesting stuff. I'm really happy I found it. Oh, at the same time, it was also in the same box as my Orion Pirates manual, which has all the X weapons in it, which makes me super happy. Because now I can actually, do proper comparisons. You know what? Just all weapons like, go for it. Let's just get in here. And photon torpedoes to normal mode. We're just going to pull on in. Hey, the missiles did the job. Missiles are such a wonderful weapon. And they only do 12 or 24 damage. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So another Romulan hidden starbase taken out. 146 prestige and a neutralized tile, which is nice. We could go for this planet here. We could. But this is the Romulan homeworld, so we're not going to. Let's pull on in home. Hi, shipyard. I've got just about 3,000 prestige. Do you have anything cool for me? Anything that I might want to sell my ship for? Well, there's battleship carriers if we got 10,000 prestige almost. So not really in our line. The light dreadnoughts are 4,800, which I think is probably a bit overpriced, but that's just me. Other than that, we don't have a whole lot to look at. The CFRs, those are fast cruisers. We're not interested. We're a battle cruiser. So I guess now we're just going in supplies. Give me 64 points of repair. And give me a whole bunch of shuttles. A few missiles, if you didn't mind. For 71 prestige spent there. And not that many marines spent. Although we are completely out of mines, which can be annoying, because mines are pretty useful. Mines are just one of those things that when you use them, stuff happens. Yes, that was extremely vague, but when you use them, you can generally force your enemy to pull away from a good attack run or something. The AI tends to give, I think, too much credence to mines and not enough of a belief in its forward shields. Although mines do a decent amount of damage regardless, but let's get that forward shield reinforcement going. We're currently having to soar on into this planet, which is a very common sight planet that we see a lot. I'm not sure if that's anything to do with anything, but it is PL1 listed accordingly. We are squaring off against the Firehawk cruiser. He'll have, I think it's two S-type plasma torpedoes, and that's it. We'll send a probe his way just to double check and make sure. Also, let's not forget to set up our shuttles. We do, of course, have 6 shuttles once again, which means we can be aggressive with them. Fully loaded missile banks as well. He's well beyond the range of what we can fire at, though, so we're not going to be able to get anything involved in that one. Coming here, we're going to just throw 6 points of energy into the electronic countermeasure. They like to chase you all the way up. You'll hit 5, they'll go for 6, then you'll go to 6, then they'll drop to 0, and then you'll drop to 0, and they'll go back up to 5. So I'm not going to play that game. We're just going to rush right up to the maximum amount of power that we can sap from that, and we'll kick the engines on. If we need to, we can just brake for the planet. It's not all that difficult. This should be a relatively simple mission. So photon torpedoes, set them to proximity mode. It's going to be a long-range shot, but we're going to take it anyway. And just double check. Yep, there's no other enemies on the scopes right now. So send a probe his way to find out exactly what it is that we're dealing with. Again, Firehawk. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the 2 S-type plasma torpedoes. Although it could be, 2 S's and 2 F's. That's not outside the realm of possibility. But it is a FFHK. Yep, 2 S-type plasma torpedoes and then just a absolute ton of phasers. Which is not a bad decision, in my opinion. Phasers are a good weapon. Let's increase the speed of time so we can get within range. First of our Wild Weasels already. We'll slow right back on down. We will prep another Wild Weasel and another Scatter Pack. We are in range, so conduct bombardment. Long range fire, and 1 hit. It is so difficult to work with some people sometimes. Let's quickly come over here to this. We are currently sapping up all the energy that we have. And I'm going to send a quad of missiles his way. Now, if I'm remembering correctly from several episodes ago, we found out that the AI is really squirrely about 4 missiles. They immediately begin their point defense engagement, and then they dump us a scatter pack, or a wild weasel. So I'm going to try and exploit that a little bit more again. So we're just going to come out around a little bit, and I'm anticipating at any moment he will drop down to 0 speed. There it is! Oh, it's like clockwork. He did launch both of his plasma torpedoes. That is going to hit the Paris, because the Paris couldn't slow down in time, or didn't have the shuttle for it, so that's 60 damage. But that now means that we have to get right on top of him. So let's rush on it. Oh no, he didn't Wild Weasel, he cloaked. Interesting decision. Not a bad one, just an interesting one. And he's doing a speed of quite low. So he crash stopped and cloaked? Oh, so the AI basically confused himself. So when you decide to launch a Wild Weasel, if you're traveling faster than the speed of 4, it automatically hits the crash stop for you. Nope, there it is. What the heck, game? Now you've just immensely confused me. Doesn't really matter. We're going to come in here and try and do a little bit of damage. Come up from above so that we can get a nice hard look at him. Photon torpedoes set him to normal mode because we're going to be getting in rather close. Prepare the transporter bombs. We're going to have to hit him like a truck. Wait for it. Wait for it. The range on the transporter is not particularly long. It's actually pretty decent, all things considered. And there. All up and select. Turn on into him. And everything. So we managed to chunk through and dealt a pretty decent amount of damage right there. Unfortunately, the missiles weren't able to do anything. Let's pull off out of here. Otherwise, he's going to be in a nasty position to do something towards us. Phasers? Anything? Nope. So we're just going to come off in this direction. He's doing a speed of 16.2 while cloaked. That should tell you something about just how fast these Firehawks can be. They are basically fast cruisers, so it's kind of to be expected, but still. We're zipping on out of here. Our phase capacitor is fully charged, so photon torpedoes get to charge fine once again. I do want to get outside of a range of 10 every time we make one of these passes, for obvious reasons. If we're too close to him and he decloaks, an S-type plasma torpedo is a really nasty surprise. So we're going to dump a mine on him, see what he tries to do with that one. He did pull off to the side, and he's coming out of the cloak. So that'll give us room to come around this mine. Get a couple of shots on in through there. He's picking up his speed. He's up to 18. Any more shots I can get? Oh yeah, let's actually dump a couple of missiles on him, because he is pulling away from the mine, so that'll open that shot up. The photon torpedoes are not in a position to engage just about yet, and he did go into cloak, unfortunately. Cloak hopping. It is an annoying strategy to deal with. Not because it's insurmountable or anything like that, just because it drags things out. Now, to be fair, we have used this strategy to basically take on planets with, you know, light and heavy cruisers, but it's still kind of annoying to have to fight your way through. Although, luckily, he does have his shields down, which makes things a little bit easier. Good hit there. Only did 2 damage, though, apparently. So apparently cloak reduces damage by half. That's actually interesting to know. That's not in the manual. So we're just going to steadily get on his tail and follow up behind him. This will also allow us to slow down a little bit. That way we get more power to our forward shields and to our engines. It'll also put us into a position where we can engage with missiles and actually have a chance to hit him, rather than him just immediately, you know, cloaking after he fires all his heavy plasma torpedoes. He does have an S-type plasma torpedo ready to go very shortly, so I'm going to pull away. Get ready immediately on the missiles. We're going to send it his way just as soon as he decloaks, because I am anticipating a decloak at any moment now. Because that'll coincide with one of his plasma torpedoes being ready. Unfortunately, the Paris is just not having a great day. Take a look, make sure that we weren't flying into any sort of asteroids. We are entering a dust cloud, which is interesting. Am I just not seeing this asteroid? I'm just not seeing this asteroid, apparently. Photon torpedoes, still in proximity mode. Don't quite have the angle on it, but I can, send a couple of phaser shots in through. And here he comes out of cloak. Dump missiles on him. And commit to the turn. I am going to go for the proximity... no, we got to go for the normal. Within a range of 8. Well, that wasn't particularly great, and he's cloaking once again. But he also dumped a Wild Weasel. Or at least he crash stopped. You're proving to be immensely annoying. Did you know that? Not effective. Annoying. Because of that, I'm going to have to do a little bit of pain to you. We're going to go right on down. He actually does have an S-type plasma torpedo ready to go. And he is dropping out of cloak. We should be around to the right side. And we are going to get hit by this S-type plasma torpedo. There's really no avoiding that. The timing was just not there for me. So he's gone back into cloak. And I don't have an angle to really hit him, so that did cut through. Oh, because I hit the wrong button. I hit E instead of W. Not quite sure why it crash stopped me then. But whatever. We'll deal with it. Keep firing, just steadily. work around, get to the edges here. And let's also get on that repair. Patch the engines. It was only 1 point of damage, but 1 point can add up eventually over time. And we are still within range of a normal photon torpedo shot, but he should pull outside that range. Oh, he's coming out of cloak. Or no, just the lighting changed. I don't quite have the angle here. Yeah, that was not bad. Come on. Come on, pull this ship around. Give me something. Why am I at 0 speed at this point? Seriously, there's something really weird going on with this engine. There we go, now it's kicked on. Should have kicked on way before that, though. Photon torpedoes, that's a normal mode, because we're point-blank range, essentially. And hopefully he'll decloak so we can actually do something to him. That would be ideal. But he's not. He's being not clever, but annoying, again. It's the problem with the Firehawks. Just gotta eventually whittle them down, and then we shall take them for all that they're worth. Actually in a relatively good position here, if I can just get on him a little bit faster. How's the repairs coming? Yeah, we're good. I want to follow up immediately with a missile strike. I just don't have... Oh, actually... Wrong button. Didn't want to do that one. I want to do, instead, this one. Somewhere around here. Oh, that's everything. Fire! Managed to get a couple of hits on in through there. We'll pull off in this direction. He did Wild Weasel, which I think kind of ruined his momentum for what he was planning on doing. Did make my life just a little bit more annoying, but we'll deal. Why does he keep crash stopping then if it's not to deploy a Wild Weasel? You confuse me greatly. Do I have a shuttle? Hi. I don't really have much to do anything with you. I do have a... What is with this? Things seem really weird to me for some reason, because, for example, I thought that I had deployed a scatter pack, but apparently I didn't. There we go. Now we're starting to get that damage on in there. I can't launch a missile. Well, I can, but it's gonna suck. 1, 2... And anything? Slow down. Hi. We're just gonna sit here nice and slowly. Unfortunately, we can't really do anything to follow up on this strike because, you know, he's right there and all of our weapons are still on charge. However, if you turn in that direction, I will be able to follow up on the strike here. If you don't cloak, I'm definitely going to follow up on this strike. Photon torpedoes are at normal, so yeah, unload. There we go. 70 damage right in through his stern shields. Now he's having a hard time. Set this back onto all missiles at the same time. We don't need to micromanage it too much right now. First set of missiles, second set of missiles. And I think I got you. Oh, a long-range phaser shot from the Paris to end that off. Alright, maximum speed of time. Let's get to this planet. We've got to do this quickly and efficiently. Green alert, full power. And we'll get right up on top of this planet here and beam over the Diplomat. He had a front row seat to... I don't want to say it's the most interesting battle out there, because it wasn't. I mean, seriously. Why game? Why you do this to me? Why do you cause me so much pain and suffering? Because they don't like me, apparently. We're going to come over here and prepare to beam. Pain and suffering purely because of wasted time. I don't mind fighting Romulan ships. It's fun, but when they're constantly cloak hopping, it's like, well, now I gotta wait and get within range. Now I gotta fire shots. The AI is predictable in this, which can be a little bit annoying. But I suppose I can't complain too much. I suppose my outlook on the world right now is just a little bit too dark from what it normally is, because normally that kind of challenge is a lot of fun, and heck, we even pulled off that Wild Weasel trick again, which I was pretty happy to see. So get ready to beam over the Diplomat. And if you don't mind, thank you. There we go, Diplomat's on the planet. What a great way to arrive on a planet. Aboard a battle cruiser. Still one of the most beautiful ships in this mod. I stand by that. I love how the Kirov-class battle cruisers look. They're just gorgeous. Although, the Constitution refit is still the most beautiful looking Star Trek ship. Anyway, 280 prestige is, of course, our reward, and we did unfortunately have to take a little bit of damage in that fight, so a little bit of reverse. We also used more mines than we originally intended, purely because we accidentally pressed the mine button. And, of course, let's not forget top off the missiles for an additional 49, and additional shuttles. There we go, and we're topped off and ready to go back out into space to cause some havoc and damage. Again, there's nothing really in the shipyard that we quite want. It's just a couple of frigates, fast cruisers. The battleship carrier would be nice, but against Romulans, I'm not entirely sold on the idea. I think an X-type cruiser would probably be a better choice. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.